I'm here sitting with my brother, Johnny Colon, a lifelong Cubs fan, and I have the opportunity to ask him a few questions about his favorite team. So, Johnny, how did you become a fan of the Chicago Cubs?
Well, I've always been a fan of Chicago, especially because of our dad who grew up there. He would always talk about this huge city coming from El Paso. We were only about 500 people, 500,000 people. So Chicago, millions and millions of people. So it's just him growing up from there. The Cubs always being the lovable losers, and I just grew a love for them. Also, when I was a kid, my favorite colors were red, white, and blue. Who doesn't like those colors? And from there, it just took off.
Okay, so when and where did you see the Cubs play for the first time?
So the first time I saw him play was on TV when my dad was watching the games. But the first time I got to see him live was actually at Wrigley Field. Um, it was like a dream. I still remember it to this day. I'll never forget that. Just walking inside the stadium, and it was just glowing. The fans, the buzz from the fans, and just the color of the field. It was green, but it was mesmerizing. So.
What's your fondest memory as a fan?
Well, it would have to be that one, but who couldn't enjoy the World Series last year? It was I tell everybody it was unbearable. That's how stressful it was. But at the end, it was just you're able to take a breath. Just a roller coaster ride the whole series. It was just incredible.
Who is your all-time favorite Cubs player and why?
Well, I can't really just pick one. Um, the high school that we went to, the one of the few baseball players that made it to the majors actually pitched for the Cubs, and his name was Frank Castillo. That'll always have sentimental value to me. Um, Going to spring training and actually talking to these guys, even if it's just for a brief second, I would have to say Schwarber. I got to see him in person. He signed my ball, and I've always had a fan crush on him. So
Thinking about this year's team, what would you say is their biggest strength?
the biggest strength is their offense. They're a heck of a team. Their lineup 1 through 9 can hit. Even the pitchers, some pitchers can hit on the team. So I would have to say their offense. That's what's going to keep them in the game, and they're a tough lineup.
What would you say the team's biggest weakness is?
Their biggest weakness is their pitching. They have a good closer. It's just getting to that point to have them close the game. Right now, their starters are not doing very well, and some of the bullpen is a little shaky. But they definitely need to do better in the pitching department. The pitchers are getting a little bit older. The youth is on the position player side. That's why their lineup is so good. But the point is just to make it to the playoffs. You do need pitching in the playoffs, and see if we can get there with the pitching.
Do you think the game of baseball will ever go out of style?
No, I don't think it will go out of style. It's an old game. It's over 100 years old. Probably over 150 years old. So they will need to change some of the rules to keep up with the times. A lot of things are a lot faster now. The game is a little bit slow. So they're doing that. They're adjusting to it. But if they continue to change with the times, they should be fine. Everybody loves to go to the ballpark and sit back and watch the game and take your family out for a good time, and it's relaxing. It's not as stressed as a football game or basketball game. One of the regular season games. Now the playoffs is different, but I don't think it'll go out of style. It keeps its tradition, but at the same time it'll change to the new times.